Hi everybody, this is Laney. Hope you all are doing well today. In today's video, we will be celebrating the birthday of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, born June 18, 1918 and died December 5, 2013, was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary salesman who served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of states and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. The government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial reconciliation. He also served as the president of the African National Congress, also known as ANC, from 1991 to 1997. And you all will hear me say ANC quite a bit. So ANC is African National Congress. Mandela was born into a royal family. He studied law before working as a lawyer in Johannesburg. He joined the ANC in 1943 and co-founded its youth league in 1944. After the National Party's white-only government established apartheid, a system of racial segregation that privileged whites, Mandela and the ANC committed themselves to its overthrow. Mandela rose to prominence for his involvement in the ANC in 1952. Mandela served 27 years in prison, split between 3 different prisons. Amid growing domestic and international pressure and fears of racial civil war, President F.W. de Klerk released him in 1990. Mandela and de Klerk led efforts to negotiate an end to apartheid, which resulted in the 1994 multiracial general election in which Mandela led the ANC to victory and became president. Mandela also acted as mediator in the Pan Am Flight 103 bombing. Mandela became an elder statesman and focused on combating poverty and HIV and AIDS through the charitable Nelson Mandela Foundation. Mandela was a controversial figure for much of his life. He received more than 250 honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize. Mandela was born July 18, 1918, in South Africa. His great-grandfather was a king. According to Mandela, in 1994, he discussed his schooling. No one in my family ever attended school. On the first day of school, my teacher gave me the English name. This was the custom among Africans in those days and was undoubtedly due to the British bias of our education. That day, my teacher told me that my new name was Nelson. Why this particular name? I have no idea. He grew up with 2 sisters in his village. He tended herds as a cattle boy and spent most of his time outside with other boys. Both of his parents were illiterate, but they were Christians. His mother sent him to a local Methodist school when he was about 7 years of age. He was also baptized as a Methodist. He also attended a Methodist high school. Mandela met Evelyn Mass, a trained nurse and ANC activist, entered a relationship with her, and they did get married on, or should I say in, October 1944. They initially lived with their relatives until moving into a rented house in the township of Orlando in early 1946. Their first child was born February 1945, and the second child was born in 1947, but died of meningitis 9 months later. Mandela was part of Johannesburg's elite black middle class and was well respected by the black community. In 1954, Mandela's relationship with his wife Evelyn became strained, and she accused him of adultery. He may have had affairs with NAC member, I'm not going to call her name, and secretary, I'm not going to call her name either. In 1956, Evelyn stated that Mandela had physically abused her. He denied the allegations and fought for custody of the children. She withdrew her petition of separation in November, but Mandela filed for divorce in January 1958. The divorce was finalized in March, with the children placed in Evelyn's care. During the divorce proceeding, he began courting a social worker, Winnie Mattaka, I can't pronounce Winnie's last name, whom he married in June 1958. She later became involved in NAC activities, spending several weeks in prison. In December 1956, Mandela was arrested alongside most of the ANC National Executive and accused of high treason against the state. He was held in a Johannesburg prison. In 1960, Africans burned the passes that they were legally obligated to carry. One of the organized demonstrators was fired upon by police, resulting in the death of 69 protesters. In the Sharpeville massacre, the incident brought international condemnation of the government and resulted in rioting throughout South Africa, with Mandela publicly burning his pass in solidarity. Responding to the unrest, the government implemented a state of emergency measures, declaring martial law and banning the ANC and PAC. In March, they arrested Nelson Mandela and other activists, imprisoned them for 5 months without charging them for anything. In 1964, Mandela was transferred to Robben's Island, remaining there for the next 18 years. Isolated from non-political prisoners, Mandela was imprisoned in a damp concrete cell measuring 8 feet by 7 feet with a straw mat where he had to sleep. He was verbally and physically harassed by several white prison wardens. He spent his days breaking rocks into gravel. Mandela was initially forbidden to wear glasses, and the glare from the lime permanently damaged his eyesight. But however, at night, he did work on his degree, from which he obtained from the University of London. Yay, Nelson got his degree. While locked up, he was locked in solitary confinement on several occasions for smuggling newspaper clippings. Now, they put this man in solitary confinement for smuggling newspaper clippings. Winnie was rarely able to visit Mandela herself because she was regularly imprisoned herself. His daughter was first able to visit him in 1975. Winnie was released from prison in 1977, but she was not able or not allowed to visit Nelson. From 1967 onwards, prison conditions improved. Black prisoners were given trousers rather than shorts. Games were permitted, and the standard of their food was raised. In 1969, an escape plan for Mandela was developed, but it was abandoned after the conspiracy was infiltrated by an agent of the South African Bureau of State Security, BOSS, so they're called. By the late 1960s, Mandela's fame had escalated. In July 1978, when he celebrated his 60th birthday, he was awarded an honorary doctorate. In March of 1980, the slogan, "Free Mandela," was developed. Despite increasing foreign pressure to release Mandela, the government refused, relying on its Cold War allies, the United States, and the president at that time, Ronald Reagan, and UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Both considered Mandela's NAC a terrorist organization and supported his suppression. It was later revealed that the CIA had something to do with Nelson's imprisonment. While in prison, Mandela studied Islam and he went on a hunger strike. By 1975, Mandela had become a Class A prisoner, which allowed him greater numbers of visitors and letters. He corresponded with anti-apartheid activists such as Desmond Tutu. In 1985, Mandela underwent surgery on an enlarged prostate gland. Mandela's 70th birthday in July 1988 attracted international attention, including a tribute concert that was watched by more than 200 million viewers. Mandela faced personal problems when ANC leaders informed him that Winnie, his wife, had set herself up as the head of a gang, the Mandela United Football Club, which had been responsible for torturing and killing opponents, including children. Though some encouraged him to divorce her, he decided to remain loyal until she was found guilty by trial. Recovering from tuberculosis due to the damp, cold conditions of his cell, in 1988, Mandela was moved to another prison. At that new prison, he had a personal cook. Mandela insisted that his main focus was to bring peace to the Black majority and to give them the right to vote in a national and local election. After being released from prison, he stayed at the home of Desmond Tutu for a few days and met with friends, activists, and the press, giving a speech to an estimated 100,000 people at Johannesburg. So, happy birthday to Nelson Mandela. I know that was a lot. It could have been a whole lot more. I started to do a part 1 and a part 2, but I got it all in a part 1, just one. And the information about Nelson Mandela is long, but there is a but. But It's worth reading. Be well, stay safe, and stay in peace, not pieces. Hit that bell so you will know every time I upload a video. Word of the year, peace, peace, peace. Again, happy birthday to Nelson Mandela. He's another one of my favorite heroes. See you soon.